What's up, XLeads family? Good morning, great day, wherever you are. My name's Rick, and we're here to talk about XLeads on Saturday morning, and it's important we talk about it. So, I have lots of updates we'll go over today, but the purpose of today's stream is really how can we make 25 grand using XLeads? It makes you much more efficient, and I'm going to walk you through. I love to focus on certain aspects. I'm a list pulling guy. And my big input on XLeads was the ability to pull lists lightning fast and quickly. So my name is Rick, and I've been wholesaling for 24 years. And you always need data. Without data, wholesaling does not exist. So here's what I want you to do. You have a comment section, you got a question, please ask it in there. Number two, I just introduce yourself because you're trying to make yourself better on a Saturday morning, which is, I think, spectacular. So make a friend here. We only talk about wholesaling. In this one, we just talk about XLeads and its relevance to wholesaling. And we want to show you exactly how to do it. So um, I will update you towards the end on the skip tracing thing because it's here. So I'll give you the official release dates and everything like that. I think you guys are going to be very happy. And if you have an XLeads account, it will happen instantaneously once we drop it. So we just have a couple little things we're working on over the weekend. And I think you're going to be pretty happy in the early part of the week. So number two, I'm going to put up a share link because I sometimes feel like I'm just like talking to myself here. And if you guys want to talk about specific marketing lists, because I always look at it, if you can't figure out marketing, you do not have to worry about the rest of wholesaling. So if you're new to XLeads, welcome to our family. Number one, you want to learn how to master the marketing part. And that's to me, because if you don't get leads, it doesn't matter what you offer, what your follow-up system, not to say it's not important, but you got to get out the gate. And as usual, if you want to figure out how to do that, make sure you jump over and use freewholesaling.com. Not only do we provide the training to get your first deal, to get you your first $100,000, is we also show you specifically how to pull XLeads list and do everything like that. Now, you can get a lot of that information right here in the channel. I would just use the search bar and look specifically for what you're doing. Like if you want to figure out how to do e-sign, we walk you through an entire video how to do e-sign and all that other fun stuff. So let me share a link here before I forget, because I haven't done this in a while and I made a note this morning. We need to get back to doing this. So I'm going to put this in the comments here. Let's put it here. If somebody wants to jump on, and I mean, honestly, we can talk about anything. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. Remember, we have an entire support team. I don't get into all the techie issues because sometimes it's an iOS, sometimes it's a Windows thing, and sometimes it's just an operating system in like a Google Chrome. So I put the link up there if somebody wants to hop in and get in queue, and maybe we can walk through a list, maybe something that you're working directly on, and we can go from there. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me note some comments here. I see the comments here. Okay, awesome. So guys, first of all, if you're new to this, if you're new to XLeads, let me show you something here. Obviously, go to freewholesaling.com because you got to get some training on what you're doing. You always have to start with marketing, and don't ever forget this. Marketing is the number one skill set of a wholesaler. It will never change. In fact, without marketing, there's no way to become a successful wholesaler. And anyone who tells you, oh, just use a third party, they'll fill up your pipeline. Yeah, but they're going to drain your bank account. And if this is why I'm not a big fan of like when people buy like a franchise. Now, when really rich people buy hundreds of franchise, that's a scaling system. But when an individual buys a franchise, like I saw one the other day, I don't fault me on this, but I went by Steak and Shake with my daughter, and we're just having a good time. And they had a sign in there that says 10K is the franchise fees, and we'll split 50% of the profit. Basically, you're going to be the manager and you're going to pay 10K, and you are going to be a slave to the franchise. You have to pay royalties. You have to follow their systems. You have to order their products. And at the end of the day, how much money are you really going to make? And that is always been the challenge. So the idea is you got to find a way to make money without like giving it all up. So the idea is marketing. If you understand how to do the marketing, number one, you'll get valuable lesson because when I first started marketing, I would go out, I would get data, and honestly, I screwed it up every way you can. I got probably $100,000 course on what doesn't work in marketing. But I got better with every piece of data come back, and I got rejected horribly when I started. So back then we used CoreLogic and we pulled our list and we paid about 20, 25 cents a lead. So here we are in XLeads. I want to show you how to take advantage of it and use the marketing. So if you have a question, you can either put it in the comments or I went ahead and put a share link on there and we'll go from there. So contact. Okay, I'm highlighting a bunch of questions and we're going to answer it as we go along. How's that? So if you got a question in there, I will do my best to answer it. So I've started a bunch of them. And yeah, I will update you on the skip trace. I promise. I promise. So what's up, guys? See, I love these good mornings. Memphis, everybody. What's up, Paul? Neron, everybody. Okay, let's get going here. So let me share my screen. Let me start out. I already have my coffee. Don't worry about it. Let's see here. Share screen. Okay, let's get going here. I'll update you on everything. Let's just go through and work on this. So real quick, guys, who wants help pulling a list? And be specific. Give me a market. Give me a market and what you want to achieve with that list. So you want high equity, like vacants and zombie. And I'm not like me pulling a market's kind of, I'm a little bit biased because I have markets I go in. So if you guys want help on one, maybe you're a little bit new. Maybe we can let somebody new in here to do it. And I'll walk you through it together. And we'll use it kind of as a training. So real quick, while you guys put in those lists, I want to show you if you're new here. Let me jump over to my XLeads. So these are your tabs on this side. All your training support on that first tab right there. It'll come up there. We have onboarding calls. We have scheduled calls. And then if you want to get support, what you do is see this little button right here. And by the way, you can move it wherever you want on the screen. You can just click on there. And we have a help center. It has all the scheduling on there. It has the link to our free course. And you can type in an information or you can use voice command and go from there. Yes, we use AI to sort out our logic when helping people. Why? I can tell you this, phone doesn't work at all. Why? Because it's very hard to answer technical questions on a phone. And one phone call leads to 9 and we just don't get anywhere. But the reality is it has to be, we have a ticket system. And we also have we use AI chat, and what they can't sort, it goes to particular team members. Like we have people that just focus on the go high level section of our software. And then we have people who just focus on the logistics, on the marketing, the comps. And then we have a billing team if you have an issue with your credit card or anything like that. So I just want to kind of let you know, go within the help center. It's like you just click this here. Boom, it's all right there. And you can go through, it'll tell you exactly what to do. If you have a question, you put it there. And guys, here's the best part is if you have a question, I promise you thousands of others have the question. And the more data we get, the better we come with our customer service. So we have an entire customer service team. They do work Monday through Friday during normal business hours. So if you put in a ticket over the weekend, if AI can't answer it, they'll go ahead and schedule it. Number two, if you have a highly technical question, like say you're stuck using Go High Level, because it can get complex. But here's the best part. It's included in your count. So like, don't cancel because you get frustrated with the Go High Level side. Learn. Get your specific question and put it in there. And you can do screen shares. You can do screenshots. And here's the really cool part is if you're a patient and you walk through the logic, they will actually schedule a live Zoom for you. 15 minutes. Now, the live Zoom's not to hit them with 19 questions. It's, hey, I'm trying to import or export a lead like this, and it gets stuck, and I don't know where it keeps going. That is a technical question. They ask you to show it to them, and they'll tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. I use this all the time. I get more complaints from Zach as that, dude, you're running up our customer support bill. I go, man, if I don't understand it, how am I going to do it with other people? So right here, guys, up here, training support, and we try to break it down, and all the trainings like right in there. We even have and then we have an onboarding call every day. Take a look at it, guys. A2P everything. And the next part is you click right here and you can answer anything that you want. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. So that's where it starts. Rome was not built in a day. You were not going to learn XLeads in a day. What I want to show you today is how can we get leads in our pipeline? How can I fill it up quickly? Because I don't really know how to use XLeads. That's fine, guys. The only thing you master first, for God's sakes, make sure it's marketing. Because I survived really my first 2 years in wholesaling, not knowing much past marketing and negotiations. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And guys, listen, I did it old school. I paid for the data and so I was hyper focused. I did not get 25,000 leads. I did not get 25,000 leads. And so I think a lot of you guys are underutilizing it. And I want to show you how to do it. So since nobody put on a market, I'm just going to do it for you. So let me jump into XLeads and let me show you the value. So just go over to your leads tab right here. And let's pick a market. So since nobody put one in there, and unless somebody drops one in there in the next second, I'll do the first one and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to start with residential. Guys, I got some killer stuff coming for commercial. I'm working on it. That's a whole nother wave I've been working on. But right now we're just here residential, okay? Let's get started. So you just pick an area. So let's say we want to do, I don't know. Let's say, what's a good city, guys? I got to get out of Florida. I got to get out of Florida because it's just like, it's too easy in Florida. So let's pick, let's see if you guys have one in there. See, I say get out of Florida and somebody throws Brevard. Okay, I'll do Brevard and whoever queues up the next one. And if somebody wants to put in what type of list, what type of marketing you want to pull, and I will walk you through my logic on it, which I had to learn the old school way. Now you guys have kind of have cheat sheets for it. But okay, we picked a market. Somebody else can pick. I'll do some of the others. The next one is somebody pick the type of list you want to pull. And I'll show you how to walk through the filters. I got to show you how to make 25 grand. Guys, the money's always in the list. So I love tax delinquencies. I'm going to be honest with you. The probate is going to be behind somewhat in the XLeads. And if you want to do the tax delinquency strategy in the probate, which I love, I think it's absolutely amazing. I would try to get real-time probate data. The tax delinquency is easy. The probate, you got to understand, it's scraped from the county sites. There are some states that are a little bit more challenging, and I like to do that. But you have to have, so whenever you stack data, you have to somewhat have it in real time. Because if your tax delinquency is always a dated list, that one's easy to pull. Probate, it takes time. And the problem is if you wait too long on the probate, your list stacking gets all messed up. So I love this strategy. I don't know that I would mix the probate. You could actually import that list and do a list stacking. Actually, we have another entire program we do with that, and we'll be sharing that with you. But hang on. You have the right school. You have the right mentality. And if you do the tax delinquency and a up-to-date probate, meaning you pull it from your county online site, powerful, powerful. The problem is when we get it from XLeads, it is somewhat dated data, anywhere from 45 days to 90, sometimes 120 days. And that's the part I don't like. There's only so much you can do, guys, because data is data. So if you can pull it from your online on the probates, I'm just telling you, it is the best way to do it. because there is a limitation when the counties release the data. And my hands were stuck to do that on a scalability. So that's perfect. So let's keep jumping over here. So we did Brevard County. So the first thing, it goes into the map. Now, I this is kind of cheating for me because I know this market extremely well. In fact, I've made a ton of money off Brevard. So the two things I want you to understand about Brevard, which I absolutely love, is number one, it has a huge population. Huge, 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 huge. Now, if I go over to my filters, so what you want to know is you want to know the population. We want 100,000 or more. 75 is the bottom line I would do. And number two, what's the average median price? I can just look on here and get some rough numbers. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Now, if you want to find out more insights on it, you can go down here and research the market. Let's just assume you already know the market. But if you wanted to get insights, you could go in and look at all these numbers and you can do a comparison on markets, stuff like that. So if you're say on the other, say you're in California and you're looking at Brevard and you know nothing about it, now you can do a kind of an analysis and you can look around, you can look at everything on it. Like right here is, you can look at the average AI wholesale score, 390. So you can compare it. If you got 5 markets, cheat guys. I couldn't get this information when I got started. And then it'll give you all the potentials on that. And then if you want, you can even go even more direct and you can do value by zips, value by county. So if I do value by zips, look at it. It will color code and tell you where the pockets, where stuff's hot, where stuff's cold. And it will tell you valuations. I mean, you can do almost anything you want here. It's absolutely by zip. If you did it, if you did flips by zip, this basically helps you tell you where the activity is. And like they kind of heat, I guess we do color coding on it. And then if I did value by county, let's take a look. That's more of a broad approach. And here's the really cool part, guys. I want to show you this is when you do the insight stuff, you can back out and take a broad macro perspective. So sometimes like I found Brevard County when I was originally doing Port St. Lucie, and not that Port St. Lucie was drying up, St. Lucie County was getting harder. And so I had to keep going further away. And if I had data like this, my God. And once I did some testing in Brevard, I was like, wow, this is like Port St. Lucie 10 years ago. And so you want to look at it. So if you use these overlays and these insights, you can do some really cool things. Let me get this off of here. Okay. So now we go in. I like everything by zip. So I'm very familiar. Anything out on the island, you're wasting your time because it's not wholesale stuff. And then on this, you have Brevard County. Now, if you want to switch up, you can look at a satellite view. The satellite view only helps you when you get very focused in because you can't see anything. So what you can do is you can decide it. Now, I know I like this to divide by streets and sections. So if I did this, I would break it down like in 4s. So I like to break down 3 or 4 markets. So I would take a crisscross and cut it right here. And that's how I do it. So what you want to do is go over to filters, guys. And here's my favorite part. So I pulled up Brevard County. And if you look here, it says lead types. And before I put in any criteria, I can now assess this market, especially say I'm in Illinois and I want to go invest in Florida. Probably not a good idea. But if you look here, you have 59,000 absentee owners, 77 free and clear. And the idea is it's telling me before I even do a search, if I have no experience, I know what my total lead potential is. Because if you go to a small market, you'll see, and if nobody wants to pick a small market, the numbers sometimes will be in like 0 to teens, which is crazy. So I have 1,163 foreclosures. So if I wanted to tack, let's just say, so the tax delinquencies, 5,213. That's a good number. That's great. Now you can do list stacking in here. I'm not trying to make this overly complicated. You could take tax delinquencies and you could take stuff that's possibly in foreclosure and see what kind of data that gives you. That gives you 46 leads. Now, the reason why I like foreclosures with tax delinquency, because I want you to think about this for a moment. Hold on, let me. Tax delinquency, I want you to understand this. They're great leads because obviously, if people don't pay their property taxes, at least in the state of Florida, they have the ability to actually foreclose on the home. And they're actually working on a vote in the state of Florida. I believe there's 15 other states attempting it too, to get rid of this process. Now, they don't want to lose the tax revenue. They just don't think you should have to lose your house. So if it's free and clear, you lose it. So think about tax delinquencies. People that have little equity, meaning they put down like less than 10% on a house, they are required by the bank to do escrow. And the escrow makes them pay the property taxes. They make them accrue 3 months and build up a bank. And the bank always makes sure they have the ability to pay the property tax. And then what happens when a property goes into foreclosure and they got one of these high risk loans less than 10%? Does the property tax get behind? No, it never gets delinquent on low equity properties. Why? Because the bank has a huge vested interest and they pick up the tab. Now, if you look at that, initially, I think there was, I don't know, it was like 1,500 foreclosures. And then when I went back and switched it up and I added foreclosures and tax delinquencies, it cut it down to 46. Why? Why am I interested in those properties? Because there's usually a ton of equity in them. Because that means the owner has to pay for their property taxes on their own, and either they're just running out of money. I like them to get 2 years behind, which you can do that, and it would work. So if you look right here, I'm showing you right now. So there's 5,213 tax delinquencies. So either way is the first thing I'm going to do. If you look in the upper left, is these are all your filter criteria. You can click these and it'll automatically take it to you, or you scroll it up or down. Now, if you go, hey, Rick, what's about the sellability score? Honestly, it's a little bit more of an advanced strategy, and we can teach you that with the SkyDrive. But if you're just starting out, I want you to figure out how to pull these lists. So the first thing I would do as a newbie, anybody, not even a newbie, is I'm going to set the valuations because I don't want to go over the average median price for that market. Now, I know the market well, so I'm going to put the max property value on this at 250 because I'm looking for entry level houses. So immediately that cuts me down to 2,059 on those, on the tax delinquencies. And then the next one you can look in, which I like to do, you can do features. I don't know why you would filter because you're not looking to live in the home on your own. I would go down to ownership type. And when I start out, I like to do individuals and I'll do trust. I don't want ones owned by businesses and government because they're most likely not going to sell to a wholesaler. And the other one I like to do on ownership is I like to put in, so now we're down to 1731. I like people that at least own the property for a little while because I just do better with it. So you could put at least 3 or 4 years. There's usually make sure there's some sort of equity. So let's just try 4. We're down to 921. And if I put 5, we're down to 869. Now, what I like to do is every time you make a change in the filter, if you go to the lower right, you can see what the number is. And it's the easiest way to understand that. Now, you can go down the foreclosure stuff, but as I said, I want to catch them sooner than later. But the main thing is you want to make sure that they have equity in it. So let me put this on here. What else can we add on that? But you can go through it and all your tabs are going to be up here. I mostly focus on valuations and ownership. Now, if you want stuff with equity, you can go in under mortgage and you can do the equity filter. My suggestion is on a foreclosure, it's got to have at least 35% or more equity. Otherwise, there's not enough money in it. And if you want to find the better hanging fruit, you can go up to 50%. That cuts us down to 800. Let's do 60. And if you want to try the truly motivated ones, you could do a 100% equity, which means it would be free and clear. That's 440 properties. That's 440 people that need help. Now we go under the lead type. You can also go under ownership information, and we can put in there. Let me show you some of the stuff here. I switched off the dark screen because it kind of drives me nuts too. Okay, we did individual businesses. I always skip the features because I don't like to buy properties with pools, but like it's crazy that people filter like that. Do not filter by the property. Remember, the properties choose us. We don't choose them. We just look for ones with motivated sellers. So, and then if you look on your right-hand side, it's going to be all your filters. So I'm going to go in there and click see results. And then you're going to kind of get your list and you can work through it. So what you can do is just grab, I got to make sure I don't show numbers on here. I see lots of, let me make sure. Let me check something on my filters here. Make sure we did property type right. So this is the one thing that you got to understand. Under features, I want you to do single family. I'm going to take off condos. Do you see how this number drops down? I'll take off townhomes, apartments, and other. And now we're down to 282. So you got to understand putting condos in there, like in the state of Florida, you do. And by the way, the full disclosure, you do not want to do condos in the state of Florida. It's an absolute utter mess going on right now, and there'll be opportunities, but the government's involved right now, trying to force these old buildings on the beach to fix up, and they just all need millions and millions of dollars. So, and here's the thing: if I take off multifamily, how much does that number change? Not a lot. I already know that. So I'm going to leave it on there, and I'm going to click see my results, and then you will get a list. And in that list, let's just pick. Now, when you go under this, you can look under the entire lead, everything. If it's got pictures from any time it was listed on the MLS or an online thing, it'll pop up there. Pretty rough property. And you'll see this is going to be a high probability of a rental. And you've got a decent wholesale number on it, but you can go through. You can use these. You can launch the property scan, go through the whole 9 yards. I think you guys get in the weeds. You guys got to get list. You have 25,000. Does everybody understand? How are you going to maximize 25,000? I just showed you how to pull roughly 300 foreclosure leads and just work through it. And here's the thing is, guys, a lot of you need volume. So if you make your list so tiny, it does become challenging. So I always tell you, first and foremost, let me hop off here so I can see. I didn't share my screen, did I? Crap. Okay, hold on. I apologize. I do this all the time. I'm a wholesaler first. I did not share my screen. So let me go back to my filter section. I'm sorry. It was my fault. So on the filters here, these are all my filters. And I want you to guys kind of use it as a cheat sheet. Number one, you pick your market, the property types, and make sure if you're not doing condos, townhomes, you take them off. And then I put the valuations on it, and then I put the owner type. And under features, which is one of the ones that I keep forgetting to tell you guys about, is you could select the type of properties you want. And if you hit the screen here, like you see this land doesn't really get foreclosed on a lot. Very, very, very rarely, in my opinion. But if I just wanted to go out and search land, which we can do a separate one, if you guys want to do that, I would unclick all those and just do land. So once again, the summary, I apologize I didn't walk you through this. You're going to see all the filters right here. And guys, in the beginning, do not over filter your stuff. But I don't want you to call on multi-million-dollar homes as a new wholesaler because, in my opinion, it's a waste of time. So find out what your average median price is in that market and stay at or below it. And that'll keep you out of time wasting time, energy, and money because you can pull 25,000 leads, guys. This is just one. You can sit here and keep pulling on any of them. Let me see. So we get the results, and then you just like click on it and you go through the whole thing. Now, most of you guys are going to get too far into the weeds on this. And I'm telling you, this is just all the information on the house. The idea is you can now go in, you can export it, you can do the skip trace, you can do everything you want to do in here. You got to have the ability to pull these lists. If you can't pull these lists, you can't get through enough data. And if you don't get through enough motivated sellers, remember, technically, guys, we are trying to find a needle in a haystack. There's no other word for it. We are finding a needle in the haystack. You're going to have to go through lots of data to get it. And I've always taught you, number one, make sure you go through your government lists and you can actually import them into your XLeads and you can do it from there. Now, the idea is, oh my gosh, what is that? Sorry about that. I'm sorry about sharing my screen. Okay, that's a weird comment. So, well, then, you know what? I don't know about, like, I love people complain about like list stacking because I think it's hysterical because it's fine. Then go search your own data. I don't give a crap. Uh, do I do any business in Palm Bay? Yes, I do a whole Melbourne, Palm. I've been doing it for 14 years now. It's right up the street from me. So it's an incredible population. It's much bigger than St. Lucie County. And that way I do like it. So do you have my first? Okay. So I'm putting questions up here and then we're gonna go through another list because I want to do a different type. I don't have like XLeads. I feel like help me get my first deal. I'm just afraid of XLeads because it's intimidating to me. Well, I can't fix the fear part. XLeads is not required to do your first deal. Me and Zach have always told you guys that. The idea, it's a tool before you guys start investing thousands and thousands of dollars in all these programs. What you don't understand is most of these coaching programs that you have to sign up for, you have to sign up for all their affiliate stuff. And the thing is, most of your money's going to the person that signed you up. You guys just don't know it. So what we did in XLeads is we stripped it down where you just get the value of the data. So like if somebody doesn't like the way we do list stacking and stuff like that, fine, go use the service. They're $200 to $500 alone just for that service alone. There is a cost to it. It's very complex writing it in code and everything like that. So the fact that you admit you're afraid is fine. You just got to get past that fear and you have to attack. What I would do is go over to freewholesaling.com and use your government list and just attack that first, get your first deal. When you get your first deal, then you can figure out and pay $97 a month. And then you'll see the value of your time because you'll get 10 times the amount of time back and you can work on 25,000 leads. So what I want to teach you today is the value in XLeads to me, because most of the services you go out there and buy is you just pay for these companies just the pull list and you get very little after that. XLeads, we have the same ability, my opinion, better data, but understand this, you get the full CRM with the Go High level. Most of you got to pay $100 extra just for that feature alone. Then you got to go get an e-sign service. That's $40, $50 a month. DocuSign, anything like that. Then you got to go get a comping service. Well, you can use Zillow. It's included in your XLeads. And then who's going to give you 25,000 leads for the basic account? No one's even going to come close to it. It's just the truth. So it's okay to be scared. And to be fair, you don't have to have it right off the bat. But the idea is once you can get some traction and get it going, or, sometimes you can get a partner and split the cost, but it's not required. I did all this without software even before the day. In today's era, in 2026, as much data as we collect, it's very challenging. 25,000 leads. If you do not have a robust follow-up system like XLeads Go High Level account, it's very hard to keep up with the data. And then that's when you start just spending money for no reason. So stick to it, get a deal or two, and then make a decision on buying the XLeads software. It's not a requirement. You're the requirement. You're actually going to have to show up and do the work. And that's what I really need you to do on it. So let's do this, guys. Let me grab one of the other markets. Trying to pull up, but the website. Okay, hold on. Let me go back and share a screen here. Let's go back and just pull another list, and we'll walk through it. So I'm answering as many of the questions, but I have to like do priorities on stuff like this. There was somebody wanted me to pull something. I believe, where was it? Hold on. I'm getting out of Florida. I can tell you that. New Jersey's is a big state, so you're gonna have to give me more specifics. Let's just do let's just say Asheville. How's that? So let me clear these filters. An important And I'm gonna take condos off of there and townhomes just to keep it clean. I never know what other is. Let's do single and full multifamily. Let's do let's do Asheville. I know nothing about Asheville. Oh, I do. I actually believe I own a property there. I've never seen it. Asheville, North Carolina. Now, by the way, guys, if you get annoyed with the mode you're in, if you click down on these little three, let me see if I share my screen. Yeah, I am. If you want to toggle between dark and light mode, I get more questions about this. Hold on. You just go down to those three little icons, and you see this here. You can go dark, and you could go light. I'm a light guy, but my son likes the dark, so that's why we're split on it. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to come in here, and you can you'll see that they're color coded. Now, here's the really cool part. If you get really smart about this, I do it by zip code. My favorite thing is to sort properties by zip code. Because I know nothing about Asheville, I go in here and I just kind of look. Now, it ain't the cheapest market. I can tell you that right off the bat. And then if I want to get insights, I can go in here. I'm going to look at regional data. And if I look at value by zip, now I can find out, okay, where do I want to focus in Asheville if I go there? Now, obviously, it looks like the northern part is the more expensive part. And then it looks like there's more opportunity on like the western side, and it looks like the activity is here. So if I go down here, I go, okay, where are my flips? Flips by zip. Watch this. It'll give you where most of the flips. So just like this, it looks like this is going to be the section to do it. I'm just giving you how I look at a market when I have no information at all. Before I get into all the numbers, I'm going to look at that. And then I'm just going to go over to my filter section and see what the potential is. Now, before we showed you Brevard County, it looks like Asheville is a good sized county, and you can go through it. You got free and clear, high equity. What I like to do is I like the vacancy list. It's an easy catch-all. I don't pull this list every month. I do it at least every quarter because I find it doesn't change a whole lot, and I don't want to waste my leads on that. And then I'm just going to go under valuations. So I'm at 755. Maybe I put 300,000. I have no idea what the average price is there. Let's put 325. So I got 182 at that number. And then under ownership information, I'm going to see if they own it at least 4 years. And guys, the reason why I do 4 years is because I'm trying to avoid any flips properties, anyone who's just going in and out of a property. I probably take this one down to 388. And you see how like there's very little foreclosure activity on like these numbers. And you can go in there under ownership. I think we put all the stuff in there. Select the type of owners. I'm going to do individuals and trust because I want to reach out to homeowners. I'm down to 56 now. And then under mortgage, if you want to set the minimum equity, I would set it at like 45%. Let's do 50. Let's do some screening here. Now let's do 60. The more the better. So now I'm down to 31. So on the right-hand side, this is my data set. And this is just a typical vacancy list. I like a vacancy as a catch-all list. It's a good list. You don't have to pull it every month. I see people pulling every month. Like, don't waste your leads on that. And then just click to see the results. Oh, I still have the overlays on here. Clear. So now I can go in. So that's a satellite view. And it only helps me when like you really like lasered in. So I like the roadmap because it takes around like the I guess assume there's mountains in North Carolina. And then you can hover over, you can look at it all, the ones that are closed, the ones that are pending, and the ones that are available on the market. So if I want to run comps, you can do all from that. So we have residential. Oh, that's my other list. That's the one I pulled earlier. So you notice there's not a lot of photos on these because you have a completely different market. But like, let's look at board investor. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how old the properties are in that area. That's really rough. And there's pictures on it. Guys, I actually prefer properties when there's not a lot of pictures because it means it's really never been active on the market. But if you take a quick look at it, you can see what's going on. And then you can work from left to right all the different things that you want to do with it. But what I want to do is be able to pull the biggest list I can possibly can. So if I go back and I go under filters, I want to pull the biggest list possible. So let's see this. Let's clear all. Let's go back. What is a really big? Oh, let's do a really big market. Watch this. Houston, Texas. Probably the biggest market out there. It's going to have the most data. So if you ever want to do like a real comparison, if I go under filters, I mean, look at these numbers, guys. 183,000 absentee owners, 57,000 long-term owners, 358,000 high equity. I mean, these are huge lists. Look at this. 44,000 active tax delinquents, foreclosures 7,503. It's absolutely insane. So if you understand that, look at this vacancy list. It's 13,000. Now you are really going to have to hyper focus down on it. So my suggestion, if I was in the Houston area, I would break it down by zip, like, because there's at least by county, because these numbers are just way too big, guys. Now, this is great. If I'm doing a direct mail campaign, I'm going to hit it out of the park with this. Why? Because I have a ton of data. But you're really going to have to go through and find out, hey, how can I narrow this list down? How can I get it to a reasonable number? And guys, by the way, you can go and pull your own list as well, too. Look at this. I mean, the total available leads is 762,000. Way, way too much. So even if I look at the most, even on zombie properties, which zombie is going to be a vacancy that's in foreclosure, it's 197. I can do these niche lists now. And then you can kind of dive in and you can figure out how to do the whole thing. Now, I don't know much about Houston. I just know it's huge. And so these are zombie properties that are vacant and in foreclosure. And you can just go through, you can look at them, you can export your entire list. You can do anything you want. You can click the exports. You can get them out. You can skip trace them. the whole 9 yards, which we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Guys, I honestly, if you had to take every feature away, if you took marketing away from me on XLeads, I would give up, because without marketing, you do not have a wholesaling business. Period. This is why we don't put PPC and PPL in here, because it doesn't work. Now, what's working in 2026? I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I like to do as many niche lists as possible, because most investors won't take the time to do it. How do I find niche lists? You sit here and you filter, and you test, you filter, you test. How do you test? You actually go out and market the stuff. How do you market? You're going to simply cold call, SMS text messages, reverse driving for dollars, whatever you need to do to get in contact with people. So you find me a tax delinquent with a probate, I will find you a smoking deal every time. And so just work your whole way through. The idea is to find people that need help. And you're going to have to start with a big list and then work your way down. Without a list, where do you start? You're stuck. There's nothing you can do with it. So if we look at, oh God, that thing's horrid. And why I'm seeing fences here. Look at this one here. This is crazy. So I'm actively trying not to show phone numbers and stuff on here because these videos get shut down. And a lot of this, guys, when you do the SkyDrive and all the property scan, stuff like that, it's overkill for most of you. Now, there's an entire strategy how we do the SkyDrive. And we've done plenty of videos on it. It gets a little bit techie for you, but the idea of the SkyDrive is to look at the physical property and then look at the financials and what's going on with the seller and put it together a score 0 through 100. And that's what it does by just going through all these data points it goes through. So right off the bat, this is a low number. Now, I don't care. I'm still going to go through and reach out to the seller. I'm going to either call them, text them, send them a letter, whatever you need to do. So let me get out of here and show you. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to help you right now. Hold on. Let me get back. Where am I? I always get lost in these screens. Okay. Remember yesterday. Good morning. Okay. So let me see how much time I here. Let's answer some questions, go through it, and then we'll go through the updates on everything. So first and foremost, I do appreciate the comments about the customer service. The thing is, the biggest thing you have to do is stop complaining and just figure out what's not working and try to get it fixed. Because the minute you get frustrated and upset with software and you take it out, like on the customer support team, they're just there to try to help you out. So I understand getting frustrated with software, but like you just have to learn the processes that you do it. Like today, you should sit there and master how to pull a marketing list. The problem is honestly, we give you such a smorgasbord of lists to pull. It's a lot, and I get it. We're going to do one more list before we go on that. So, but I do appreciate it. So Jay, this is a legitimate question. And let me tell you what happens in data is there's what we call a little bit of leakage. And sometimes sometimes not all the data moves over. And sometimes there's some manual things you can do it. By the way, this is a software industry problem because the companies we use to scrape the data, it's not perfect in exporting all of it. So what you can do is take your original list that you have and then the list you export, and you can find out what the missing difference is. We actually have another piece of software to help out with that. And me and Zach are actively working on solving it. But by the way, this happens in every software. It's not just an XLeads thing because it's a coding type of issue. So for it to scrape all that data, it has what we call like a little bit of leakage. The other one is if you're screening based on somebody owning the same property, either based on the same mailing address or the same name, you can screen out with that. But if you'll see it, particularly when you do big 10,000 lists, go, wait a minute, I exported 10,000, but I only got like 94 or 9,500. It is just a software thing. How it leaks, I have no idea, but I'm just telling you the truth because I've sat with the development team and go, guys, I pull a 10,000 list, I get this. And so we go through some of the iterations and I will show you some of the cheat codes to do it. To be honest with you, that's why you want to pull as much data as humanly possible. But your concern's legit. It's going. So Paul just closed a 5K deal, and I promise you, Paul knows how to do marketing. Guys, you really got to get in the weeds on the marketing. You got to really get weeds. Okay, someone asked real quick, hey Rick, where do I get the probate leads in here? So that's real simple. Just go under filters and you can go to the lien section. So if you want, you can click liens up top here and it'll take you down there. And if you go down to select lien types, you will see deceased probate. You all have the availability for that. Now I put in all these extra filters, which I should probably take off, but these are them right here. And so I can go in and pull this one and look at it right here. And you'll see it has the tag. Boy, that one has a pre-foreclosure tag on it. But once again, the filters on that one is deceased probates. Just go under liens. And deceased probates right there. Now, remember, that is a dated record. And the only way you can beat it is either pull it at your courthouse yourself or just pull it online. So I like pulling them online and scraping them against tax delinquencies, but that's just me. I do like those a lot. Let's see here. Hey, Rick, what about the skip trace update? And legitimate question, and I agree 100% with it. So here's where we're at. It is in. We are doing one more final round of testing. I think we took an additional 25,000 numbers. I've had 5 different people that I trust immensely to run our numbers. Number one, we're testing for personal accuracy, actually calling the numbers. So we're using auto dialers to speed it up. Number two, we're doing a comparison with all our competition to see the accuracy of the numbers. And I just want the data. So we have it in. We're beta testing it. I've taken a select amount of people to give me feedback on what they think of the opinion of the numbers is. And here's the good news. You'll have it. I guarantee it'll be here next week. That's all I can do. So sometime between Monday and Friday, most likely Monday and Thursday, we'll be there. Do you have to do anything different in your XLeads? No, you just get more accurate information. And guys, I'm here to tell you, the company we started out doing skip tracing, like they changed their process. So we had to pivot and make a change. And we do apologize for it. I listen to your feedback. We know it's a problem. We're going to fix it. Not only are we going to fix it, we want the most accurate skip tracing you can get without you going broke. And so if I give it to you and I don't raise the price and I pay significantly more, I just wanted to let you know that's how much we believe in it. So I'll let you guys be the judge and the jury on it, but I'm not putting it out there till I know it's 100% great. And that's been our delay. So I know we've been teasing it 2 or 3 weeks. I apologize that we had some implementation. We had one other snag with the integration of the API, and I know it's technical, but it is what it is. Now we're just in the verification process because I'm not going to let what happened in the past happen. The information started out so good, and then it went off the slope. And remember, we use data companies, and data companies change how they do their process and don't tell us. It is a challenge. And I want you guys to understand that's unacceptable, and we're never going to let that happen. So, next question, our monthly plan. So here's the good news is, if you guys, if you have an XLeads account, you're grandfathered in the pricing and you're good to go. Do I anticipate a price change? Not right now. I really don't. I don't want to raise the prices. Like that's the last thing I want to do. My costs have definitely gone up and we're going to get better data. The biggest complaint we've had is about skip tracing. We hear you. We're going to fix it. This week, this problem should be addressed on the screen here. So I want you to take a look at it. And if you guys have not got an XLeads account before, we're going to do an opportunity for anyone who's brand new. Um, let's just say you can test it out. I'm not saying too much, but we want everybody to test our skip tracing. Don't let Zach and Rick tell you, hey, it's great skip tracing. We're going to do it. So if you've been on the fence, this will be the week to pay attention. I'm fully anticipating by midweek we'll be completely up and running. So if you have an XLeads account, we'll give you the announcement. We'll run it up. You can go ahead, you test it, you give us our feedback. Number two, it doesn't cost you anymore. You don't have to do anything extra. So if you want to do that, if you haven't had an XLeads account, guys, I'm telling you right now, is we will. I don't want to tell you to wait, but like wait, because this week will be your opportunity to really kind of test it out. And I'll kind of leave it at that. So we're going to adjust all the plans and basically open it up to everybody. And you guys will have ability to come in just like you when you go into freewholesaling.com and you're able to look at the course. You can see the videos. You can use the downloads. We're going to give you the same opportunity inside of XLeads because we want you to be comfortable and understand not only you're getting the best data, you're getting the best support. Now we're going to give you the best skip tracing. And if you guys want to check it out and test it, maybe I got an offer for you that will make sense. So if we do it with freewholesaling.com, why wouldn't we do it here? So one of the best ways, guys, is make sure you go over to freewholesaling.com. And that is our largest school group. I believe we're 71,000. And the really cool part about that is you can connect with investors in your own backyard. It's really cool. That is one of my favorite parts of it because why not? And so if I'm in Florida, I can pull it up and I can find all the wholesalers in Florida. But if I go to Texas and I want to find someone like Max Deer, I can pull him up and I can connect directly with him inside of my school account. This is stuff that's a pain in the butt on regular social media because I could go in that market and I can find 87 wholesalers in Oklahoma, whatever it is, Tulsa. And that's how I find them, guys. This is my best way. This is how we do dispo on our deals. And I can't find any other software that will provide that service. Because unlike Facebook, I got to figure out, okay, what state are you in? Then what county are you in? What city are you in? And what markets do you service? In school, all that is answered before you even do it. So it's one of the best places to do. And I think you'll get a ton of value out of that. So make sure you go over, there. Which would you, right? It's just a personal decision. Like some people like the wave dialer a lot. Some like Rick's like it's whatever you want to do. The beauty part about XLeads is everything's integratable. And that's the value of the Go High Level side. And remember, guys, most of the time you guys are going out buying your own Go High Level account. And it's a minimum, I believe, $97 a month just for Go High Level. So if you think about XLeads, you already get it included in there anyway. So why wouldn't you just take it? It's crazy. Unfortunately, it's me and Zach that had to do that movement, but it's all there for you. So guys, as usual, marketing is always going to be the king. And if you don't, you just, I swear to God, just master list pulling. Some of you guys are getting so complicated with the Sky. I love the Sky Drive, everything. We score the property, we score the seller, and it's advanced. But once with this skip tracing, I'm going to take the excuse out of your hand. So we're going to address that this week. I guarantee, listen to me, I guarantee it's going to be done this week. No more, but good things come to those who wait, right? So do me a favor, guys. You don't need to run out and get your XLeads account. If you're new to it, I would see what happens this week because I'm going to have an offer that makes sense. If you already have an XLeads account, the beauty of it is once you have an account, we grandfather you in. We're not like Netflix where you raise the price every year and keep jacking everybody up. We believe in loyalty and the people that stuck it out when we just got started. There's some people that have such a maximum reward because the initial offer I made on XLeads was insane. And the smart ones took me up on it. And I love every one of you for it. So guys, if you got value from today, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You guys have a great St. Patty's Day coming up. And remember, XLeads, like focus on marketing. Like stop getting frustrated on the Go High Level side, on the Dispo side, on the SkyDrive side, on the comp side. You've got to pull list. 25,000. That is your goal. Every month you need to process 25,000 leads. That's why we give you the Go High Level account in your XLeads account, because there's no way to systematically go through them without a robust CRM, and we have it. So guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel.